Hello everyone, here from this amazing spot nearby the lake. I'm currently on the road a bit again with my van, and yeah, because the next episode of the Farm Diaries will thereby still take some time, I thought it could be really nice to do another Q&A video again. We haven't done that in quite some time, so I asked you on Instagram and on YouTube if you have any questions. And you did. So yeah, I hope you will enjoy spending some time with me here by the lake. I haven't really prepared anything. I just came back from Oslo today and yeah, just found this amazing spot. And yeah, I'm just going through your questions. Let's see. Let's start with the questions in Instagram, maybe. I know some of the questions I can answer like a bit quicker. One of them is, how old are you? So I am currently 28, turning 29 in the end of August. Joachim is 34. Ivy is 9 years old now. And Alva is 3 or 4. We don't know exactly. Hello from Greece. Hello to you in Greece. I wonder if it's in your plans to visit some other countries in the near future. Some other questions have been about that as well, like if we have some travel plans or if there are any countries that we would like to visit. Not in the near future. My main problem with traveling is actually that I'm really not doing well with heat. Like really not doing well. I don't know, my body just overreacts a little bit. So that, of course, excludes a lot of countries in this world. But one plan that we have is to visit Iceland someday with the van. That is like a really big dream of mine. And of course, now it's also possible because we have a heater and electricity. So that definitely should be possible. We, of course, have to see now. Our main focus is on the farm, I would say. What is your happiest memory in Norway? That is really hard to say because I have a lot of really happy memories in Norway. It's like all these small memories, maybe. Or maybe also the first time when Joachim and I got together and traveled around with the van. For some reason this time is just very, very intense for me. It's also before I even really started with YouTube. And yeah, it was a really intense and beautiful time. We spent a lot of time in Femünden as well, the area that you have seen in my videos a lot. So if I would have to choose one, then probably like this time. And then, of course, a lot of you asked about when the horses will come. We are working on it. There are a few things that need to be done before they can come, but not so much actually. So earliest this autumn, latest next year, I think. And I also know that someone asked if I'm already looking at horses. And of course I'm already looking at horses. I'm looking at horses since over 10 years or so, just like checking them all out, see if I could just buy one. And yeah, it's kind of hard to imagine that soon it's actually going to happen, but it will happen and we're working on it. So cross your fingers that it's happening soon. How much time does it take you to get to the closest town from your home? The next small village is just 10 minutes away now, which is very practical because there we can also deliver packages and buy some basic groceries. The next smaller town with like at least a little hospital and a few more stores is 20 minutes away. and the next big town is 1.5 hours away. Next question comes in very at the right moment. How do you cope with mosquitoes? Well, I have to say that at the place where we are living, there aren't really that much mosquitoes, probably because we still live quite high up in the mountains and there's always like a little bit of wind. We do have like these really, really tiny mosquitoes. Yeah, how do I cope with them? I don't know, you can just endure. I know what helps is like these, you have like these, can buy these in Norway, these green things that you burn, and they are just like, yeah, with the smoke. That actually works, like only for a little radar, but it does work. So just don't have one of these here. Did you finish the van? And are you going to do a van tour for the new van? No, I didn't finish the van yet. It's still a work in progress, but we are very close to finishing it. And yeah, I'm just not so sure how much you are into van content at the moment. I feel like most of you, and myself included, are most interested in the development at the farm at the moment. But if you would like to see more of the van, definitely let me know. Once it's finished, I'm definitely also going to do a van tour and also make a video about the whole progress of the renovation from start to finish. I think they are always really pleasing to watch, and I definitely want to make one of that as well. How did you and Joachim meet? We made actually a whole video about that, so just go on my channel and there's like the section with stories, and there you can find the video about how Joachim and I met. Some questions are in German, I'm just going to translate them. Can you imagine to also live free in Germany with a social phobia? I don't know if I would say that I have a social phobia. I don't know, maybe you have one. Yeah, I could imagine that, I guess. There are definitely beautiful places in Germany as well, also very quiet places. I guess I would miss this kind of untouched nature though. In Germany all is very managed, and even the places that you would consider as nature, like the forests and so, they're all very beautiful in their own way as well, but most of them are managed by humans. And you don't really have like these really wild places anymore, and that's something I just love so much. So yeah, that's probably something I would miss. The next question fits to that as well. What do you miss most about Germany? I have to say that I really don't feel attached to Germany at all anymore. Yeah, I have something, the feeling, because I grew up in north of Germany and many people associate Germany just like with beer and leather pants and so on, but that's really not what northern Germany is about. It's much more Scandinavian almost, I would say. You have like the oceans there, the East Sea and the North Sea. Is that true? Yes. And as I grew up there, I of course have like, yeah, a kind of home feeling there, just because I know it so well, like the buildings, how everything looks, how the people are, and it just feels familiar. Not that I would like to live there anymore, but this feeling of being familiar with everything, that is something that I still have in the north of Germany, and that is, yeah, something I don't feel like here in Norway. It's a different kind of being at home feeling that I have here in Norway, but I guess it's something special with the place where you grew up. So yeah. Then a few questions were about the whole financing and buying process of the farm, and also how much the farm actually cost. I haven't really talked about that so far, mostly because I don't know. I mean, it is like how you would imagine it to be. It's a lot of bureaucracy, and also with the price, I don't know. I mean, people always have opinions, and for some people it's a lot of money, and for some people it's not so much money. but the farm was listed for 1.5 million crowns, and we got it for 1.4 million Norwegian crowns, which is about 140,000 US dollar, if that makes sense. Yeah, and we financed it through a bank. We always knew with the whole farm buying process that we would have the support of our families with that. And yeah, what else should I say? I really don't know so much about these things, so I can really not tell you anything more about how to finance a place. I guess you just have to find a good bank. I don't know. Sorry, not really my area. Someone asked, you and Joachim relationship goals. What is your best relationship advice? I guess for me in a relationship it is growth is one of the things that is most important for me. I never ever want to stop growing and evolving, and yeah, I'm very grateful that Joachim is on the same page with that. So we are growing a lot and yeah, growing with each other. And yeah, relationships are, I guess, one of the most intense learning fields that we can have in our life, because yeah, when you live with someone so close, they really get to know you, they really get like to these deepest parts of yourself, and that is something that I believe is very beautiful. And an advice would maybe be to be willing to look at your own stuff, because in a relationship it happens very quickly that the other person is the mistake, or if he or she would just change, then everything would be different. But we all have our own stuff, and I think it's so important that we take responsibility for that, and to look at our own issues and to work through that, and maybe get a therapist or something, but to be brave enough to to take care of our shit and to not bring that in to bring it in the relationship, but to be responsible with that and not to dump it out on your partner. And yeah, I guess that is one of the most difficult things, but I guess also one of the most important thing to keep a relationship working and to keep it alive, to always keep growing and to find each other in a new way over and over and over again. What made you happy today? This lake made me very, very happy today. I just came from Oslo and it was so crowded and horrible traffic, and this place just feels like the biggest gift. I'm so happy that I found this place. I'm sorry that I have to make all this with my hand the whole time, but these knots, they're just like getting into my hair, and so please just don't be distracted by that. The question is, one advice for your 15-year-old self. Well, the 15-year-old Lena was definitely very lost and very disconnected from herself. So my advice for her is to stay true to herself and who she is, and to not judge her so much, and to keep following where her heart wants her to be, because she always knew that, but she doubted herself a lot and tried very hard to fit in and to do all the things that she thought she is supposed to do. And I would really like to give her a big hug and tell her that everything is going to be fine. How much is visible in your daily life concerning Norwegian politics or politics in general? I'm not sure what you mean or if that's what you mean. I would just say like politics in general. And Joachim is very interested in politics. He also studied political science, and through him I'm quite up to date, I would say. I think it's definitely our responsibility to know what is going on and to not look away, So overall, it's not like very present in our lives, of course, but it is present, and we also talk about it. And yeah. Then another question is, why don't you make your content in German? Now it's really getting intense with these. Just have to like have one of these birch sticks. Sometimes that helps. You can just wiggle them away. Okay. Okay, now the video stopped. I hope I'm in focus. The next question is advice for young artists who wants to live from nature painting and photography as you. That is of course always a little bit difficult because I don't know you, but maybe that is also the advice, because I think it is so important to get to know yourself and to see what are your strengths, like what are you good at. Get this feeling for yourself, like who are you as a person, as an artist maybe. And then I would say just look out into the world at people who make a living from their art and see what resonates with you, because of course there are many different ways to make a living from art or photography as well. You can do client work, you can do exhibitions, you can do what we do with social media. I know some artists are just living like from one collector that keeps ordering paintings. That is of course also possible with Joachim, for example, because for him it has been exactly that journey as well. He's now doing TikTok live streams, which is working perfectly for him. And he has been trying so many different things. On TikTok, he actually found his audience because he is very spontaneous. He just needs to set up a camera and start talking. And he just manages to really take people in and to engage with them, which is, for example, something that I'm not so good at. The more I think that you land in yourself and see what are your strengths, the more you can also see how you could maybe bring your art into the world, and how you can find people that resonate exactly with that. And it doesn't always have to be big. There's also absolutely no shame in doing a side job. I think the most important thing is just that you don't stop with your art or your photography because of your work. Like that would maybe also be an advice, to just focus on having time for your art. And maybe it's also not even necessary to make a living from it, because I also know many people who it has destroyed the joy for them to create art, because it is tough, it is not easy, and you have to go all in, and it's a lot of pressure on your creativity as well. And be careful maybe if that is really something that you want. And if it's something that you want, then go for it and go all in and give everything you can. I believe in you, definitely. Right. Oh my god, this video is going to be long, but I don't care. I mean, you can always stop watching. Next question. How do you experience the Norwegian people? I hear different stories from people. Yeah, that is probably because people have very different experiences with Norwegian people, which I believe has mostly to do with the people and not so much with the Norwegians. It's just my thesis, if you can say that. But you asked how I experience Norwegian people. I experience Norwegian people as rather introverted, definitely. Very, very friendly, very heart open. It's always, of course, hard to generalize, but I mean, you know that probably. But I would also say that Norwegians really want to be very open and very open-minded. But I guess especially on the countryside, they are a little bit suspicious towards things that they don't know, because things in the Norwegian countrysides have been the way they were for a very long time, and Norwegians are very connected to their tradition and their history, I would say. And I guess that is what foreigners sometimes experience as rejection or something. And I have to say that if you really are very different from what I just described, you will probably, probably won't be that easy for you, because people just aren't like that here. And I, for example, appreciate that very much. I like that. I like being left alone. I'm very much like that as well. So I love them all very much. All right, I hope that were all the questions here on Instagram. I'm sorry if I have missed any, but I also know that there are quite a few on YouTube, so let's look at that. I made a post. Quite a few of you also asked about my mom, if she's now living in Norway, if she's living with us, how's she doing, and all of that. My mom is doing fine, and yes, she has moved to Norway. She is currently living at a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place near the place where we lived before. And she also lives in Røros from time to time. And yeah, one of you also asked if she would be willing to come in front of the camera and talk more about herself. I can ask her, of course. She is a little bit camera shy, I know, but she's practicing that also with her job, to be in front of the camera. So maybe that could also be nice for her. So let me know in the comments if I should ask her to be part of a video, and then I will ask her. Yeah. Do you have friends in Norway or social contacts? How often do you see them, and is that enough for you too? I can imagine that it is can be a bit lonely living in the countryside. Yes, we have friends in Norway. We see them every now and again. Most of them don't live very close to us. And no, for us, it's actually not very lonely. We are not very social people. Joachim is much more social than I am, but also just under very specific circumstances. And we both are very, very obsessed with our projects, with the farm, with our creative projects. And for me, for example, it is, I really like to be alone. I also really like to meet people that I like, obviously, but it also drains me very much, because when I'm with someone, I'm really having like my full focus and energy with them, and it just takes me out completely of what I have been doing before. And yeah, so if I, for example, want to edit a video for YouTube, which usually takes me around 3 to 4 days, then I need to do that like in one go, because if I stop, even just for a day, and then I start again, I very often just have to start like all over, because I'm just not in the feeling anymore, and I'm just like, out of this creative zone. And I guess that is kind of a gift, to be able to concentrate and to really dive into these things. But it also comes with the price that, we also decided to not meet so many people. We actually don't want that. On the other hand, that is also something we still are figuring out for ourselves. How many people do we actually want also at our place? Because it's something that I'm having issues with. I generally really like people. It's really not about that. I think you can find something beautiful in most people, and at the same time I often don't feel so good after. It's, like I said, something I'm having issues with. I'm still working on that. People make me feel scared. I have a hard time to connect with many people. With some people I connect really well, and I love to talk like for hours and hours, because it just flows. But with many, many people, I'm often just, I don't know, I get very tense. I'm very sensitive. I feel everything that the people are feeling around me. It sometimes gets just weird because I'm just, I don't know, I guess I'm also probably on the autistic spectrum somehow. I never got diagnosed, but it would just make a lot of sense, because I can just see how also people sometimes get confused with me because I imagine that I just don't give like these social cues, or I have no idea. It's just something that's not easy for me, to be around people. I really admire people who are just so easy with each other and like have no problems getting in contact with people. For me, it's not easy. It's something I'm struggling with. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe it will get better sometimes, or maybe it won't. I have started also to just accept it the way it is. And on some days it's better and on some days it's worse, but yeah, overall I'm very happy with the lifestyle that we've chosen, and I do not really feel lonely. That was a long answer. Another question is, I want to move to Norway too. Is there something I should be aware of, or do you have any tips? Well, maybe just know what you're getting into and if that is really something that you want, because what I have just shared, for example, about the people here in Norway, you just have to like that. And yeah, you just have to like the way the people are here, and you have to like this kind of solitude. And yeah, for some people it's just like heaven on earth, and for other people it's not. So maybe that's a tip, I don't know. You probably know that. Oh, they're flying in my mouth now. Can you just go away, please? Just have to do this. They will be back in a minute anyway. Or I just have to make the whole video. Just have to sit here. Okay, that's a rather long question. I cannot read all of it, but I don't know your name, but she writes that she moved to the coast of Scotland from England, and that yeah, my video has been a part of her journey. That makes me very, very happy, and I'm happy for you that you have found your home. And she's asking, what are your priorities in your new home? You probably mean what we prioritized before we bought the home, like what was important for us. I hope that is what you mean. And that is, well, a few things that we really wanted a place that felt kind of like its own little world, and it had to be quiet. That is something that has been very, very important to me, that you don't hear any road noise or something. I think there's a mouse here next to me. Of course, like a bit of land for the horses also has been important. Yeah, I guess that these were like the main, like the most important things. Yeah, then she also asked, do you engage much with your local community, or are you more introverted like us? Well, I answered that a little bit with the lonely question. We are definitely keeping it more to ourselves, but we know the people that live around us, and yeah, everything's friendly. But yeah, we definitely keep mostly for ourselves. When you're feeling overwhelmed with projects, what do you do to help keep yourself on track and reduce burnout? Well, for a very long time in my life, I did everything that you shouldn't do. I had a burnout once where, yeah, I just did exactly that. I accepted way too many projects. I worked from day to night and went really far over my own boundaries. I have at some point made a really radical decision to prioritize my own health, and most importantly my mental health, and to not push myself too much. I pushed myself very much, and even though I think it's important, of course, to keep challenging yourself and to also do things that make you feel scared and not like listen too much to your fears and to your anxieties, but yeah, don't overdo it. I overdid that a lot, and I did myself a lot of harm there. So I guess in the end it's a decision of what you want to prioritize, and I think we should all prioritize our own health, because if we are not healthy and balanced within ourselves, then everything we do doesn't really have any value for other people as well, I believe, because most people don't want you to be burned out for them, if you know what I mean. do you have bad crime? I cannot believe that a woman can drive alone and sleep in a van when going out into nature to do a photo shoot or whatever. Well, better start believing it, because it is happening at this very moment. And Norway is a very, very safe. I haven't had one situation that has been seriously, like that seriously felt dangerous or something. I had one moment in the outskirts of Oslo that just felt a little bit weird and sketchy, but not dangerous in any ways. I think I've also read at some point that the chance that you get attacked by someone here in Norway is under 1%. So basically none. And yeah, you can also feel that. It feels very safe here. There's, no bad crime here. And then about the renovation at the farm, how much more renovating will you two be doing? And the other question is, I'm just going to translate that, if we have any projects that, or dreams at the farm that still have to wait a bit. We have a lot of different renovation projects, so we're just doing it very step by step. There is a lot to do on the farm. I just really try to just focus on the next steps, and that is at the moment everything that needs to be done so that the horses can come. So the next projects are going to be the barn, fixing up the stable, fixing up the fence, and then a big machine will come, hopefully, we are still figuring that out, to make everything plain again, because the previous owners have been digging a lot behind our barn to make a drainage there, and that just needs to be finished. So that are the next big projects, and then we will just have to see what we can afford and yeah, what comes next. Not really any big dreams, I guess. From New Zealand. A long time ago, in one of your videos, you mentioned doing meditation videos. Is that still something you're interested in doing? Yes, it is. Absolutely it is. I think I have this idea very, very clear in my head, but I haven't been in the right mood for it yet, because at the moment all is very active, and I didn't really get into this quiet meditation mode myself recently, but I think maybe this winter, also when my office is finished, I think that will inspire me very much. So that's, yeah, definitely a plan. What is a typical day like for you? That's something I really cannot answer, because that pretty much doesn't exist. I don't really have such thing as a typical day, and I love that very much. I figured out that I actually really am not a routine person. I am going very much with what feels right for me at each moment. So every day looks a bit different. On some days I'm just like full on relaxing, not doing anything. And on other days I'm just all over the place and running around and fixing stuff on the farm. On other days we are going somewhere, buying things. So yeah, such thing as a normal day doesn't really exist, and I love it that way. Maybe this is the last question. I hope, and I think I got to most of them. I'm sorry if I didn't answer your question. What is it like for you when people ask about your private life? What is it like when people recognize you, and how do you want people to approach you, either on and offline? Much love. Much love to you as well. I mean, it has been my decision to share about my private life, and it is also my decision what and how much I share. So I feel very comfortable with that. There are a lot of things in these past years that I haven't shared, for example, on YouTube. And so of course that is very much in my own hands. And so that is very fine. And so far, every one of you that I have met, it just has been really lovely. I feel like in some way or the other, we are all kindred spirits, and it just has been nice. So if you see us in a public space, do not come to our home, please. But if you see us in a public space, then absolutely feel very, very welcome to just come over and say hi. just don't be scared, because if I am in a public space, the chance is very high that I'm a bit stressed and overwhelmed. It has nothing to do with you. And I really love meeting you. Yeah, maybe that's also a good ending for this video, if you have even seen it this far. Thank you so much for all your questions. Thank you so much for listening to me. And yeah, we can definitely do that again at some time if you like. And yeah, then I will see you back on our farm next time. Sending much love to you. Bye bye. Look at the sunset. Just finished the video before the sun is going down. So beautiful here. I think I have to go for a swim.